As week one of NFL training camp wraps up, we are finally hearing from the Raiders themselves. Welcome back to Vegas Nation, everyone. I'm your host, Cassie Soto, alongside Raiders beat writer Vinny Bonsignore. Vinny, at the time we spoke to John Gruden, it was early Thursday morning, and he at that time said that he hadn't heard anything about any of his players opting out or being on the COVID list. But you have learned since that that information has since changed.
Yeah, Devontae Booker, the running back that the Raiders signed from the Denver Broncos, he has been put on the temporary injured reserve COVID-19 list. From what I understand, the sense is he did not pass. Unfortunately, there was a positive result that came back off of his first test. Players began getting tested on Tuesday at the Raiders facility. You know, the bulk of the veteran players outside of the quarterbacks and rookies. So, that came down and unfortunately, hopefully he's safe and sound, but he's going to go through the protocol now and we'll see where it goes from here.
Well, you asked Gruden if he thinks his team is playoff ready, and he, of course, said yes and said he was going to leave it at that, but, of course, elaborated a little bit, and he said that everybody needs to be healthy, and he also had this to say about the team's performance last year.
We stunk last year. I stunk inside the 1 yard line. That would really help our offense if I can call some better plays and give these guys a chance to poke it in from inside the 2 or 3 yard line. That's where your points per game and all the statistics will improve.
Vinny, Gruden straight up said, "We stunk. I stunk." There's no beating around the bush with this guy. We, of course, put a lot of emphasis on players needing to improve year by year. But how do you think Gruden is taking that as a head coach of this team, brand new city, a really good rookie class, to improve on the coaching side of things?
Coach talk, taking it, showing your players that, hey, I'm not above criticism myself. I'll criticize myself. But the reality is, I know you can sit and nitpick play calling all you want, but it ultimately comes down to execution. The Raiders just weren't good enough in the red zone, whether you want to talk about, the play calling or execution or some sloppiness with penalties, or a lack of talent. It all kind of gets thrown into that pot. And I think that, what John is basically saying is we all have to be better, myself included. And that's a message that won't be lost on his players. But I also think getting guys like Henry Ruggs, getting somebody like a Lynn Bowden Jr. and a Brian Edwards, more weapons, Jason Witten, more weapons that they can put on the field and increase the amounts of options that John Gruden has will really, benefit more than just what play he calls at any given time.
You mentioned Henry Ruggs III. We also heard from the Raiders' number 12 overall pick, and fans will probably remember a few months ago he had a freak accident, got an injury to his leg helping a friend move, but he says now that he is back to 100%.
Yes, I feel totally like myself, if not better. I mean, I've been doing everything, to the best of my ability. Haven't felt any pain, haven't felt any discomfort in anything. So I feel like, I'm back and I'm ready to go.
Vinny, there you have it. He says that he's 100%, feels even better than he did before. How fast do you think that the coaching staff will get him ready? Maybe running some routes. We'll see some cool Instagram videos of him just taking off in a silver and black uniform.
Yeah, keep in mind that they're only allowed to do moderate things right now, football-wise. There's some walkthroughs that you're allowed to have that are Pro Bowl paced sort of workouts. So we're not going to see Henry Ruggs being unleashed probably for another week or so, a couple of weeks once they get through the conditioning period. But suffice to say, that's a speed element and an explosiveness element that he brings to the table that the Raiders have not had for a long time. He's a complete package, and the Raiders are very, very eager to figure out ways to get the ball in his hands and see what he's able to do. And I think we're going to see that sooner rather than later.
All right, well, we will see what happens week 2 of NFL training camp. Vinny, thank you so much for the updates.
All right, Cassie, have a good day.
For more on Raiders training camp, head on over to vegasnation.com. For Vinny Bonsignore, I'm Cassie Soto. Thanks for watching Vegas Nation.